Let's begin our Hoon by offering one standing bow to our beloved true parents. 하나님과 정성을 Zagery Hyunbe, Baron, our most beloved heavenly parents, today, Wednesday, August the 5th, 2015, here at Washington Family Church, National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. We pray for the victory, the success, and the good health of our true mother, with our true Father in heaven, and the rest of the true family, the true children here on earth, and the true grandchildren. We pray for their safety always, their upkeep, and all the support from the spiritual world will be unto them, as we pray also for all the brothers and sisters who are assisting them, and always with service to them. We pray for all the leaders in the international headquarters, especially our elder sister in Supnim, and our Sanjanin, our international president, and her husband in Supnim, the vice president of the Family Federation for World Peace. We pray for all the umbrella organizations also under them, especially the UPF chairman, Dr. Chang Shikyan, and his family, and all the continental leaders all over the world, especially here in North America. We pray for Archbishop Kihon Kim and all the national leaders all over the world, especially here in America, Reverend Dr. Michael Falcon and his wife Fumi and their children, and his staff at 4 West 43rd Street. We pray for the vice presidents who under him, Reverend Dylan Stevens, and all their staff, and we pray as well for all the districts all over the world, and we pray for our district leader, Reverend Ernest Patton, and his wife, Keiko Patton, the children, and all the members here in this district. We pray for each other's success. We pray for all the center leaders or pastors in Tolson Center, Reverend James Stewart; in Norfolk, Virginia, Reverend Akira Ota; and in Richmond, Father Adrian Bayo with his wife Anna San; and in the Beltway we pray for Miss LeJune in Northern Virginia Center, and in Maryland, Reverend Pastor Love and co-pastors Reverend Jim Boothby and Reverend Mrs. Greg Jones, and all the congregation there, and here in Washington, D.C. We pray for Archbishop Augustus Collins, who is taking care of the American Clergy and Leadership Conference with his wife and 2 children, and our pastor, Reverend Zagery Oliver, and wife Fumi and daughter Brianna. We pray for their prosperity always, as we pray for all the blessed families who are connecting always in many conditions, nighttime, and even today, our heavenly parents, we pray that they can always be protected, have all the support and prosperity, and all the inspiration that we can give from the readings today from the Hoon and all the readings that we read during our conditions nighttime. And we pray all of this in all our names and in my name of the Masters Francis C. Catalan, blessed Heavenly Family, Jew, Jew, Jew. Good morning. We're now on page 531, subtopic number 3, the formation of the family through 3 spiritual children. If you do not have 3 spiritual children, I cannot give you the blessing, and you cannot receive the blessing. But there are some people who did not set this condition and are leading their lives after receiving the blessing. These people also have to quickly establish 3 spiritual children. Even after the blessing, 3 archangels have to want to support that couple and that family. If 3 spiritual children who are like 3 archangels support you as an individual but did not support you as a family and a couple, it is not good. In order to make that foundation of support, you need a period of 3 years. If a couple becomes one having accomplished these standards, since they each have 3 spiritual children, there will be 8 all together, including the couple. In this way, by realizing the condition that the people who are in the position of the archangel became completely one with the spiritual parents. We're now on page 532. From there, they can be restored in the position of 8 members of Adam's family. If a man and woman who each have spiritual children enter a realm of life by getting matched and achieve the standard of becoming one by reciprocal love and by not disobeying God, the 3 persons who are like archangels enter the domain of adopted children. The 8 members of fallen Adam's family came to stand in the position of Satan's children. Thus, for fallen persons to be restored, they cannot enter immediately the position of God's child of direct descent, but must go through the domain of adopted child. From the domain of adopted child, the person has to become one with his or her parent and grow up for 7 years from the standard of the perfection level of the growth stage. You have not yet gone up to the standard of perfection. It is the teaching of the principle that in order to enter God's direct dominion, you must go over the standard of perfection. You are not like that now. Overall, you are about at the standard of the perfection level of the growth stage. Adam's family fell as the perfection level of the growth stage. But we, centering on that, have to go up with the standard of perfection as our goal. And that is the 7 years for the formation of the family. Because Adam's family fell, everything in the world came to be fallen. Thus, by becoming one with your spiritual parent, you must become a family that lives with world restoration as your goal. Because of the fall, 8 members of Adam's family fell, into the unprincipled domain under Satan. Now, in a reverse process, with spiritual parent and spiritual children becoming one, you are going from the position of Satan's child to the standard of God's adopted child. For that reason, these 8 people have to become completely one and go the way of sacrifice for the sake of the restoration of the world. Satan made man and woman fall by going the way of sacrificing their surroundings. But we are sacrificing ourselves in order to save the world and are putting into practice, or putting this into practice. Satan made the world fall in order to destroy the world centering on himself. Satan made the world fall in order to, okay, but we have to sacrifice ourselves and go in the opposite way to save this world. This fundamental rule will never be shaken. By forming a restored family, the world will be separated into families of the fallen world and the families of the restored parent. And now we have the fourth subtopic, the formula course for the restoration of the family. Yes, we have